Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I've got a power failure. I'm here, so just trying to get some insurance going, with Jack being co-host. Okay, Jack, I think I'm going to make you host, and then I should still be able to share. Okay. All right. How's that? Everybody sees the screen I'm sharing?
Now.
Okay. Awesome. And yeah, between us, we'll just keep an eye on the waiting room because I am expecting a few more people. Not Sylvia, perhaps, because she may also have a power failure. I'm sure she probably does. I haven't heard from her. Oh, and I'm also on my laptop, so everything's all on one screen, all on top of each other. So just bear with me. Good morning, everybody. This is Derita Matters, March 2025, and I'm assuming you're not seeing all the Zoom stuff over the screen that I see. So just to recap the area that we cover in this meetings, 77 in the west, 85 roughly along the south, and then Harris Boulevard is this gray road forming that kind of heart shape. And we've got some folks represented in here that are not on the map, and this map is just really the older neighborhoods that that were named when we created this map. And so a lot of the newer neighborhoods, Forest Pond, Great Oaks, etc., built in the 90s. This whole section of Derita, well, not Derita, but the area we cover was not built until the 90s. And just another map view of the same area, roughly, just to show the scale, is about 2.5 mile radius from that center Derita downtown to the blue circle is about 2.5 mile radius. Facts and figures about Derita. I think I created a slide yesterday from the 1985 small area plan, and the population in Derita in 1985 was 7,440. Now it didn't include this whole area that you see in the map here. It pretty much cut off at Hubbard Road here. So, all these areas were not included. So, but still, we have grown from, less than 10,000 to over 50,000 in the last 40 years. So, you may have noticed some people like Thomas have been here all that time.
Oh, gee, thanks. I appreciate all that.
About your age or anything.
I'm aging rapidly on this side over here. Okay.
Sorry, that probably didn't help, but here's our meeting schedule, and we do have our first breakfast coming up this month, March 22nd, and we'll do it at Maria's and just see how it goes. And I think potentially there probably will be a public meeting in June. I'm pretty sure there'll be lots to talk about with the red line possibly, or just, a general update. We'll see how that goes. But for now, we're just staying on Zoom with the dates that you see here, and then starting the quarterly breakfasts.
The breakfast is March 22nd?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
10 a.m. Maria's Grill. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, if we have a huge turnout, it may not be the best location, but we'll try to get some RSVPs closer to the time.
So we don't meet every month on the first Thursday.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do?
Yes. Well, so I'm sorry, June, July, August, we're not meeting this year. Just taking the summer.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry about that. Generally we were meeting every month, but over the summer it just.
It's the quarterly breakfast socials that are the extra.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so let's just do a quick round of introductions, just where you're from, and in Derita, and any quick update that you might want to give from your neighborhood. So I will start. I'm Teresa McDonald. I guess I should have started first with this. I am on the Charlotte Planning Commission, resident of Derita since 2007. Derita Statesville Road Community Organization, and of course my full-time job. I'm a realtor here in Charlotte, the entire region. And let me go to our other board members, and then I'll call on everybody else. Thomas.
The jet setter, also known as Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Now that I've been outed as one of the ancients, yes, indeed, I am a native of both Charlotte and of Derita and of the Royal Oaks neighborhood that I live in now. And for the people not familiar with Royal Oaks, that's pretty much bounded by the inside of where Sugar Creek Road and Graham Street meet, basically behind the fire station there on Sugar Creek Road.
Awesome.
Oh, and I currently serve as the treasurer for the Derita Statesville Road Organization, and I'm the former president of the Royal Oaks Neighborhood Association.
Awesome. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Jack.
Jack Frosch, Kelsey Glen, a little bit south of W.T. Harris. Member at large on the Derita Statesville Road Community Organization Board. Retired as of April last year, and enjoying the heck out of it. Thomas, you led the way. Thank you. That's about it for me.
Awesome, you guys.
I never miss a day of work anymore, man.
That's the problem. There's no vacation though. You know?
And as my wife has told me, every day is Saturday.
Oh, how nice. I hadn't heard that one before. I like it. That's the retired dad joke.
Exactly.
Mel Renner, speaking of retired dads.
Yes, I enjoy my retirement, although I think I stay busier now than I ever have. Yeah, longtime resident, about 23, 24 years in the Derita area. I'm retired from the city of Charlotte, where I spent 12 years as a procurement officer, spending millions of the taxpayers' dollars. I serve on the board and past longtime HOA president for 18 years in a row for the Forest Pond community, which is just shy of 300 homes. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to go in order now as I see you guys. Cheryl's iPhone 15. Are you there? Jacqueline Blackwell.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Jacqueline Blackwell. I live in the Great Oaks neighborhood. I'm a longtime member of this neighborhood, probably since it was first built back in the 90s. I am on the board as a member at large. We have a very beautiful community there. It continues to grow and strive. We met with Mr. Magolis. Well, he came to our board meeting and presented his presentation that he presented to us last month. So we are well on our way, I think, to establishing a partnership with his new goals and ideas for our area.
Awesome. Thank you. Jill Stevenson.
Hi, Jill Stevenson, HOA president for the Generals Point neighborhood off of Gibbon Road.
Awesome. Thank you. I have somebody going by 479066.
Yes. I don't know how to change that. My name is Teresa Greer, member of the Board of Directors for the Great Oaks Community Association. Been in the neighborhood since 1990 and just glad to be present at this meeting.
Awesome. Reggie Parker, is that the Reggie Parker?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Good to see you, Reggie. Glad
Hey,
to-
look, I don't have the camera on this on my computer, man. It's on the other computer I use. So and I saw this morning, so I just hopped on it.
Okay.
Just to check it out what's happening.
Awesome. Where do you live, Reggie? Don't you
Great
live in
Oaks.
Great Oaks? Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought. You know me, I'm Teresa McDonald with Alan Tate.
Yeah, been a long time.
Yes. All right, well, good to see you here. And
Thank you.
we've got Jamila Freelane. You there? Jamila?
Hey, I'm sorry. I was trying to
Oh.
get to the mute button. So Jamila Freelane, City of Charlotte, community liaison, and I represent District 1.
Awesome. And Watkins? Is that-
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, my name is Alex Watkins. As Teresa just said, I am a business owner in Derita Appliance Alliance. And so I'm excited about what's going on in Derita. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, a native. Came up in Hidden Valley. Thank you.
Awesome. Great to see you here. Let me see. Charlene? I don't see you on the list, but I see your picture there.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. Hey.
Good. Well, I am Charlene Henderson with the Hidden Valley, the historic Hidden Valley community. I'm excited to be here to meet
Oh,
all of the
somebody is
wonderful.
making a lot of noise. I'm sorry, and I don't know who it is.
Okay, let me move away.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was somebody else.
It's probably me, but I'm
Okay,
moving.
no, that's fine. I thought it was coming from someone else on the call, but yeah,
Oh, no,
good
ma'am.
to see you, Charlene.
Okay, well, I am Charlene Henderson with the historic Hidden Valley. I greet you because I am the communications liaison for that particular community. And I just wanted to say hello to everyone. Happy New Year. And I look forward to all the great things that Derita is doing, as well as any information that we're doing in Hidden Valley. I would love to extend that. There is a corridor meeting that's getting ready to happen March 20th at Parkside. So it would be interesting to make sure that Derita is there as well as Hidden Valley in attendance to know the updates of that corridor. So Teresa, I don't know if that's on your list to speak about, but I want.
I don't have that information, so I'm sorry if I missed that, but
Yeah, that's the thing. We're holding.
corridors of opportunity or what?
Yes, ma'am. It's the corridor of opportunity update. So it's
Oh,
March 20th at Parkside, but I do not have that particular time at the moment. But we stay on
okay.
top of it because we want to know what's going on and how it's going to affect our community.
Yeah.
So I would
Okay.
definitely, I
Yeah.
would let you know.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. We'll
Absolutely.
okay, who have I left off? I know Joseph. And I'll go to Joseph and then you can give us your update on Derita third place, Joseph Margolis. Joe, are you there?
You're muted, Joe.
Yes, I am. I'm here. Sorry about that,
No
everybody.
worries.
Teresa, I have only 5 slides to share. This is not a long program, but just have some visuals that I wanted to include.
You should be able to share. I think multiple people can. I don't know if I guess I might have to stop sharing.
Oh, I'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. All right. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
All right. So let me just go. First of all, we're going to talk about the petition. If anybody has not shared the petition with your neighbors, well, I appreciate everybody that signed this. We've got 64 supporters. Most of them came within the first 2 weeks of the petition. If there's anyone else in your neighborhoods that might be interested, that would be great. So that's where the petition is. And here, let me just go ahead and start
Can you
my.
just catch up the new people on the general thing, Joseph? Because
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get into that right now with the slideshow.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself now.
All right. So we've been out on the parcel. This is my partner Marion, and then maybe you see a couple of other familiar faces, Mel Renner and Hashim Halim. And we went out there on the parcel this past Saturday. I found that the better time to go out there and set up a table well, you don't see the table. There is a table. Is in the evening times, but we're starting to just try to engage people as they're walking by for their interest. Other progress, so this parcel, by the way, for everybody, just like Teresa said, to bring everybody up to speed, it's at 5334 University City Boulevard. And it's a city-owned parcel, and we're advocating to the city for it to be used for placemaking and tree canopy, in exchange for the way that all the intense density that's coming around, and particularly right there in that area of residential density, and the fact that what used to be Rumpel Road and a much safer walk for people to get to outdoor recreation in downtown Derita before the Graham Street extension came through and cut us off. So we're kind of left out here in an island where we have less opportunities to benefit from all of Charlotte's intentions in the 2040 comprehensive plan. Like one of the key ones is a 10-minute city where you have access to a safe 10-minute walk to like parks, to neighborhood stores, barbershops, just resources that you might need in your life to sustain your life. We should have access to a lot of these things. The other aspect is tree canopy. Which is probably the neighborhood character, because Charlotte really prides itself on its tree canopy, and we're going to lose just about all the tree cover eventually in this area, as we're experiencing throughout Derita. And so what the idea here is to lobby the city to convert it into use the land for a park, for placemaking and tree canopy, to make it something like a park-like place that that residents can visit. So since we last spoke, I gave a talk it's not on here, but I'll go ahead and say I spoke at the February 24th City Council Public Forum, and I completed the grant application. And so prior to so the grant application is for a technical assistance placemaking grant. It's to the Urban Design Center that's run by the planning department in Charlotte. And they will, if we get the grant, they will come into our area and speak to the nearby neighbor, help rally the nearby neighborhoods, and help us sort of figure out how best to activate the parcel based on what the community interests are. And I think that's very timely because we have Michael's Landing nearby there. We have the Mineral Springs neighborhood, which is coming online, and then the other proximate neighborhood that's actually online right now. Well, there's a few others. There was at Somerset, perhaps the Mineral Springs retirement home, and then the Great Oaks neighborhood. And so, and at the end of it, there will be a 5,000 grant. If we're awarded this, there will be a $5,000 grant that we can use to kickstart our placemaking process based on a playbook that we're going to get for that. So in the meantime, I've also been inquiring since December and getting information about city plans for the parcel. And finally, after speaking at the public
froze.
I'm frozen?
Yeah, you did freeze there for a minute. I don't know if it was related to all my power coming back on.
Maybe so.
Just you, Teresa. He's good elsewhere.
I'm sorry?
It's personal. He's good elsewhere.
So the city plans. So there is a right now. We're coincidentally right around the same time I asked about the parcel, and I learned this shortly after I spoke at the city council meeting. This parcel was referred to Housing and Neighborhood Services for its potential. For its potential as a good site to build like Habitat for Humanity style affordable housing, probably townhomes. So this would be like a product to assist first-time home buyers. When I spoke, and I've been kind of stirring things up with the city, they do seem to be taking the concerns that I brought to them about needing a third place, about being cut off, about losing our tree canopy to heart to a certain degree. And because now they've asked the Urban Design Center to see about feasibility of this being both if there's a solution where this could be both used for both affordable housing and as a community resource. My hunch from being on the parcel, and I've had two other development professional, people who work in real estate development, one who actually develops affordable housing, tell me that their hunch from just walking the parcel is that it can either be both, and quite frankly, I feel like it should be one or the other. Like I'm not necessarily against affordable housing. Like if it's going to be affordable housing, though, I feel like you should use as much land to get as many houses on there as possible for these first-time home buyers. Because there's an argument for that in terms of how other property values are going to be in the area. That new community behind here they're those homes are coming in at $400,000. And so this is down here that I meant, sorry for the hasty realignment. This is the frontage of the parcel looking in. This picture 3, I guess, that's the rear of the parcel up here. That's from 5320, which is the, if you're facing from looking in the parcel, that's from the right boundary. I went on to the 5320 parcel and just got that angle. And that's looking back at Mineral Springs. And then this picture right here is looking up front. And so it looks like a great piece of land for like a park-like place or housing. So what I think, so it's something that can be, it's going to be either or. So there's a couple of remedies that well, there's a couple of resources we have at our disposal for those of us who support it. I would love to see us email our city council reps. I'll be glad to put together a form letter and a list of all the email addresses, Teresa, if you wanted to, or an attachment to email out after the meeting, if you were willing to entertain that with a form letter for people and the addresses, so it'd be easy just to like modify the letter to suit whoever's personally sending it with all the email addresses. Another thing that I did not list here, every March 27th or every month, they do have a public forum. And if anyone else, I'm only allowed to speak once every 3 months. So if anybody else is in support of this and wanted to sign up to speak, maybe we can, we have time this time to get a few people speaking on behalf of it and have a few of us show up. Last time, Mel Renner and his partner, Gail, were there. And I really appreciate their presence. And the other way, I guess, is just to activate the parcel. And I'm talking with Hashim. He's looking into finding some scrap wood to maybe build some tables. I'm talking with another person about the possibility of scrap wood. Mel Renner, he noticed these vines on the tree.
Piano.
Yeah. Mel Renner noticed these vines on these trees, and he mentioned the possibility of coming out there with me one day and helping to devine these trees, just to kind of, and help clean up some of the brush. I don't know if you can see it very well on this picture right here from the frontage, but there's like several branches that have just been piled up with a walkway or open way, access way in the middle to the left and the right that we can clean up. But that's the other strategy. We're just trying to figure out what we can do just to start using the parcel and just start, because one of the best way to show how best used a piece of land like this is to put it to work and show proof of concept. Get out there and show pictures of people having fun or sitting at the picnic tables or playing games, whatever doing an Easter egg roll at Easter, something like that. I'm just sort of spitballing here. And so if anybody's interested in following up on that, please email me at meetjosephmargolis.com. And the other opportunity we have is that I think from a long time ago where this was somebody's home, and back in the day, people, I think this was more of like an old country home. I think, back then, a lot of people would just dump stuff in the woods. And this may have been a part of a wood line at the time. There's an old piano here. And I don't know. I'm interested in figuring out how to, I don't think the piano works, but what could we do with that piano to stand it up and use it as some sort of public art, just using some of the resources that we have. But that's just kind of a spitballing idea, and that's my update. And so that's my update, Teresa. If we have time, I'm happy to take any questions or entertain any other discussion, but I know we have a time frame, Teresa. So
Awesome. Thank you, Joseph. Anybody got any comments or questions? Are you all familiar with that? Where the parcel is, I will.
Yeah, I should have put that up there. I should have put map.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You gave us your update. It's awesome. I'm encouraged that, you know, the city is you know, listening and
I am too. I will say that is encouraging. I'm just concerned that you can't do that. It just doesn't seem feasible to do both. It's like you're not gonna that land's too valuable not to fully maximize. And even I, the proponent of the park-like thing, I I understand I feel like it should be a trade. I'd like to be wrong, but I feel like it's likely a trade-off. So if we want the park, if we want it to be park-like, we should really push for that, so that if it comes down to a trade-off, it's a difficult decision for them to move forward with. We make it a difficult decision for them to move forward with their current plans if we want the park. And I say that as someone who has no problem with the concept of affordable housing. In fact, where Mineral Springs Drive is, those apartments or those townhomes, that about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, those were proposed to be affordable housing apartments. Novel had a project they were proposing. We're under the 9% low income or state tax credit program. And the city opted not to go with them. But I had no problem with that being there, even though, you know, I live at Michael's Landing where Quarter Bridge Lane is. So, so what I'm hoping is that, like, anyone who's on the call who's interested in seeing this be a park, that you reach out to your city council, and I will, Teresa, if you're so willing, I will put a sample draft together and a list of all the email addresses in an easy copy paste format for anyone that would want to assist in getting our council and more making the council aware that more and more people are interested in this.
And Joseph, I apologize. I'm multitasking and trying to work while I'm listening, so I may have missed this, but is this parcel currently owned by the city?
Yes.
Okay.
It's owned by the city. If you
and we're asking for them not to sell it or build on it to.
Yeah, well, we're asking them to prioritize. They're going to ultimately do what they want to do. Like a land use guy several years ago told me that the best way to control what happens to the land is to own it. So, yes. So I'm not one that disparages affordable housing. I just think for our area, where where we are with the addition of Graham Street and University City Boulevards, those really busy arterials, and then we're taking on all this density that has just taken our tree canopy. This parcel is probably the last opportunity to help those of us that are cut off to have a third place to go, which is why I'm calling it Derita Third Place. Which I don't know, I think might have potential for a broader concept for the community. But right now I'm just focusing on it for this parcel because, this gives the city an opportunity to provide us good shade. And like Teresa, a good shady place to go. We can activate it with benches. It's perhaps a community garden. I mean, it's up to, it would be up to the community to help come up with that plan.
I was just thinking a community garden would be great.
Yeah, there's plenty of land for there's enough land for a few different types of programming on there. But like Teresa said, I am glad that they are at least trying to grapple with the issue. I'm just not totally sure what their angle is. It seems to me it's like it's either going to be completely housing, and if it's feasible, they'll do housing and a community resource. That seems to be the direction they're going on. And I'd love to get some other people connecting to the city, because right now they haven't decided, but once they decide and it starts becoming, the longer it takes, the more it becomes part of someone's work history and by completing it, they get to put it on their CV. And so it just gets potentially more messy over time. And what we're up against is of the hundreds of parcels that Charlotte owns. This is apparently, according to Housing Neighborhood Services, one of the few that is suitable for developing housing in the type of density that they'd like to do. And so it is, we really are asking them to consider a real trade-off, because I would consider I would consider home buyers. I mean, I don't have a problem with renters, but for, people that are always concerned about a lot of renters, this is not what this product would be. This is a home ownership product, and the type, so the, in that sense, it would be the addition of what most people consider the addition of, like, good neighbors who have or neighbors who haven't, I don't want to say good or bad, but the type of neighbors who have an ownership stake in the future, because they're not going to be transient. They're going to be here a while. So I'm not trying to talk against what my initiative is. I just want to be fair to the other process, because it is a definite need in the city, and I'm sympathetic to it.
Joseph, Reggie Parker, got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
The parcel that's right next to it on the right, though, is that who owns that parcel? Do you know?
Right now, it's a professor at UNCC, but I've been in communications with the guy that owns the parcel where you see Monterose Drive, and he is planning on he said he is planning on buying that parcel in May. Like, that could change, right? And so I would expect, based on that, more of the type of housing that you're seeing being developed there. And this parcel is the one on the in between Michael's Landing and the city parcel. It's different. This one has a lot of natural depressions and dips, and it's an interesting landscape compared to 5334. And in fact, I invite anybody to come walk the parcel, come spend some time on the parcel. Reggie, anyone, especially those of us that are within walking distance, I'd be happy to meet anyone there to hang out, or it's public land. Anyone can go there too. There's really not a lot of parking outside of that little driveway pad that's at the front. So it's probably better suited for, like, someone walking or riding a bike there if you live further away than like Great Oaks.
Now, but one thing you said, though, the guy that owned the Monterose Drive, is he trying to buy the parcel right next to him?
He's trying to buy
so
the
he was trying to both parcels in.
Yeah, so that's what he said. So, and he actually wrote a letter of endorsement to for my grant application for preserving the city-owned parcel for a park use. So I just so what other questions?
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody have any feedback?
Any feedback? Anybody? I'm not hearing anything.
Can you repeat the address?
5334 University City Boulevard.
It's right there beside of where they're building the new townhomes, correct?
Yeah, so, like,
in front up, sort of on that corner there.
Yeah, so if you were to walk, if someone were to walk from downtown Derita, they'd take Rumpel Road.
Yes.
And they'd cross the street. There's the dangerous way and the way everybody else crosses the street from Rumpel Road. And once you get across there, so if you cross Rumpel Road the way everybody crosses it, just be careful, because there's that elevation coming from Mallard Creek is pretty, the visibility for a driver coming towards Sugar Creek is very low. But there's also a crosswalk. It's just a weird crosswalk.
All right. Everybody got all that. I would hope that we can get more signatures on that petition if Michael's Landing residents and Great Oaks residents. I mean, it might be a bit early to get all these new residents over here at Mineral Springs townhomes, but at least.
Yeah, I'm working on that. We're not the most social community in Michael's Landing, but that's no excuse. I'll have to buckle down a little harder, and
The problem is you don't have a gathering space, right?
not yet. Yeah, but so I think the best thing to do is just start doing stuff and putting some flyers out saying, "Hey, we're going to be here doing this," and tell them
Yes.
the parcel, because that's
Yeah.
what gets people activated. It's fun. You do something fun,
Yeah.
and then while you're there, you say, "Hey, wouldn't this be great to be something you'd like to do?" And then people are there; they can imagine it, and so that's why anybody on the call, I encourage you to go on the parcel and just even if you just don't want to spend much time, just go there and spend 5 or 10 minutes walking the parcel. If you're taking a walk or something, and if you live nearby and you're taking a walk, maybe just take a 5-minute detour to walk the boundaries of the parcel, and just I think you'll recognize its potential, and maybe it'll get there may be something about it that captures your imagination. And I'd be happy to help support any activity that anyone comes up with, and I'm going to be trying to come up with activities myself. I'm not really programming is not my best my number. I've not done a lot of programming type things, so it's not something I'm experienced with. But so if there's anybody else that sort of got some experience with doing like programming type things that are just easy to throw together, like some as easy as like grabbing some chairs and some tables, like maybe a silent book club where everybody brings a chair and a book and a nice day, and you sit outside and read for an hour, and then maybe and then maybe socialize for a little bit after that. I don't know, something like that. Easy things while we're with more
Thank you, Joseph.
resources. All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Here's hello. Here's a suggestion, Joe.
Okay.
Take that old piano and make a musical picnic table out of it, so that you can keep people in tune with neighborhood efforts.
There you go. All right.
Thank you, Mel.
I have a table saw and a hammer. If anybody else has tools and some time to help me do that, I'll be glad to get in there and help.
Hey, we should do a Green Man Festival, Mel. A little Green Man Festival over there. Something that would get some attention.
Yeah. And I appreciate, Teresa, that you probably need to move on. I imagine.
Yeah, I just wanted
to intended.
Yeah, I wanted to say that we spend as much time on this because it's a concept, it's an idea that we can apply in other neighborhoods, in other parcels, other, areas that need exactly this. And, so I'm thinking of the Graham Street Park parcel that is already purchased by the county for a future park. And it's just going to sit fallow for a good long time because the county is in buying mode and they're not so much in activating or developing all this parkland that they have already purchased. So it's just ideas. I don't have the bandwidth to lead any of these ideas. I'm hoping that people closer to the
and that could be for
needs.
And Thomas, if you're interested in like bringing Molly in and having a conversation about that, it may be a little late this year to get a UDC placemaking grant because the deadline is tomorrow. But maybe there's stuff that that's kind of an idea I had for Derita third place. Is it doesn't necessarily have to be for just this parcel,
Yes.
Right. Yeah, as Teresa brought up, exactly that park. That park, well, I guess we're calling it Parkland now, on Graham Street at the corner of Princess is, every time I bring that up with anybody, like, oh, well, that's years in the future. I'm like, yeah, why is it years in the future? And I will say that, you know, as far as the land that you're talking about over there, we need more park space. You know, we've got, you know, this whole area, you know, you talk about, oh, the city needs more affordable housing. Well, the whole area here is more affordable than lots of other places in Charlotte. And so the you know, as far as sticking some more affordable housing, you're right. Your council people will try to put that on their resume. See, Anthony, we've done a great thing. But what we need here is more open space, more park space, because you don't want to be having your folks on your side of Sugar Creek don't want to have to be crossing Sugar Creek Road to get to a possible future park on Graham Street, and vice versa for us. So to me, a far better use of that land is for a open park space for the people there. We don't have enough of that, and if we don't start saving it, we never will.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's why the county is on this buying spree, even if they can't afford, or, you know, it's tax dollars. And they just finished their whole survey, the county, where they wanted input from people about how they should be spending our tax dollars. So you know, they've got to deal with all the needs, I guess.
Yeah, and then Thomas, in fairness to what I was saying about CVs and stuff, I really don't have too much sympathy for the city council people and their ability to cut ribbons. I was more thinking about the staff who might devote years of like professional time and not get to and how, you know, difficult it is to get them to come off of that after they've committed years of work to a project that they think is going this way and then goes that way. But yeah,
well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, if they
and even then though,
planning
I mean,
for something that's not a park, you know, or planning for something else, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They would invest a lot of time and the people's money in it, and let's start them off in the right direction to begin with.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, who cares what if the council doesn't get to cut this ribbon for this?
True. Yeah. they care, but I couldn't care. You know, exactly. I'm sure they care, but
we'll give them another ribbon to cut.
Yeah. Well, I'm just sorry, I got a bit distracted by the chat and just wanted to let you know that Nevins Inc. Is doing one of their annual fundraisers. And if you just check, I think, oh no, there's no typo there. If you look in the chat, festaitalianocharlotte.org is the website. Mark your calendars for May 18th. I'll try to get a flyer from Jessica so that I can send it out to our mailing list. But it's a great event. They do a bunch of very nice fundraisers, Nevins Inc. So I just wanted to give her a plug. She had to get off the call. And then it looks like there are 2 meetings scheduled on March 20th at 6 p.m. One is a town hall with Dante Anderson for District 1. That doesn't apply to most of you on this call, except for Royal Oaks, Allen Hills, anything this side of Sugar Creek, north of 85. I think that's it, is in District 1. So perhaps our time would be better spent going to the corridor meeting, since there is a conflict. But we can look at that. And there's another thing. What is that, Joseph? Is that? Oh,
that is a virtual transit system public plan meeting. That's for people that can't make the corridor meeting. And that link also has a schedule to all the corridor transit meetings for like the East Corridor, the North Corridor, South, West. I don't know which corridor we would be considered in. Are we in the East Corridor or no, are we in the West Corridor?
Oh, I don't know. I think we're north.
North? That's in Cornelius.
Northeast, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I'll tell you what, I'll email Brian Horton and ask him which one we're supposed to be in.
Traditionally, we've been in the North Corridor because of the rail line that they've been proposing for going north the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
but there's a virtual meeting on that you can watch via YouTube on Monday, March 10th at 12.
Yeah.
So that link that I dropped in the chat has that information. And then also I learned last night, Renee Johnson is having a town hall at the new branch of the University City Library over at University Place on Thursday, March 27th at 6 p.m.
Okay, awesome. So District 4 is for you guys. Forest Pond, you're probably District 4, right? Joseph, Michael's Landing,
Forest Pond
Great
is
Oaks,
right.
you're all District 4. Anybody else on this call? Jill, you're District 2, Malcolm Graham. So I think he is possibly also doing something, but
this is that time of year.
time for a lot of city council town halls. So there are a bunch of events. But yeah, let's try to get to some of them, folks. With them, the more hands, the better. All right, Mel, do you want to tell us a little bit about? And actually, you were there too, Joseph. But I'll give it to Mel. The opening of the University City Library.
Well, sure. I would certainly encourage everybody to go visit. It's an awesome facility. And Gail, my significant other, who's an award-winning author, is attempting to get plugged in as a presenter there, for some sessions. But it's just a great facility. I don't know if you wanted me to try to report on anything else going on in the University City area, but I try to stay in touch with things going on there. I've always been interested. The new CEO for a couple years now, Keith Stanley, moved here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where he had a similar position. So, sometimes we talk about beer, but we meet.
Cheese.
Pardon?
Cheese.
Yeah, that too, cheese and beer. So sometimes we meet one-on-one, and Keith is trying earnestly to kind of move away from what's really a corporate mindset for the University City area and make it more community oriented, which I certainly support. He likes talking to me because I have visions about things that can be. Was highly involved in city planning once upon a time for a city in Georgia, where I'm from. Here's an example. I push for remote control sailboats on the pond like they have at Central Park in New York City. Things that entice more community involvement. So we meet and have real interesting discussions about things, and the way the University City area kind of tries to stay advised of universities, the UNCC happenings, which is a big component in our area. It's a pretty large university. I guess what's going on here of late in the University City area, of course, is the library, awesome facility. There's a lot of road construction going on. I'm sure it's in anticipation of a new bridge that will be going over I-85 near the Shriners facility.
Yeah, the North Bridge.
Yeah, so the things are going to change a lot in that area. So what happens to University City, I think, has an effect on Derita and vice versa.
Yeah, we really are well positioned between University City and Uptown Charlotte, and so it's a very desirable place to live if you work in either one of those areas. And the more stuff for us to enjoy, And I don't know if Joseph might know this, if there's a connection, a bus connection between downtown Derita and the library, like University City area.
I don't know that. Well, yeah, there is one bus connection, the 22.
The 22 goes to J.W. Clay?
Yeah, that's where it terminates.
Oh, okay. No, that's an update that I'm sure it's been doing that for a long time.
It's been like that for several years. I mean,
Yeah.
so that is happening. I mean, what my personal push is for some bus line to go along University City Boulevard as well. Since they built the ADA facilities for the bus stops there and everything, to have for us, but that's another
wormhole.
That's another meeting. But yeah, I've taken it a few times. It's actually, if I live like somewhere where I believe it's Jill that lives in downtown Derita, right? Jill.
Jill's down Gibbon Road a little bit.
Okay. There's somebody that joins our meeting sometimes who lives in downtown.
Sarah. Sarah
Yes.
and Hashim live right downtown Derita.
Or Hashim, yeah. So like for them, if they didn't want to drive and go to the library, it'd be really convenient. You just have to get the headways right. Like I think on the weekends, it's like a 30 or 40-minute headway, and on weekdays, it's a 20-minute head day during peak times and a 30-minute headway during non-peak times. But if part of getting this 1 cent sales tax passed would improve the headways on that to 15 minutes, which actually would make it a viable, more viable for people who are trying to get back and forth to work in places like that.
Joseph, which of the transit stations does the bus go to? Is it the one that's
it goes to JW
or is it the other one?
It goes to JW Clay. It starts at the CTC in Charlotte, across from the basketball arena, and then works his way up Graham Street, several stops, turns left on Sugar Creek, and then turns right on Mallard Creek, and then turns on Harris, and from there North Tryon, and then ends up at the JW Clay station. It's about a 15-20 minute ride. And there's another bus route too that's kind of like a hidden bus route. You have to go to you pop out on Fincher in like at Tanglewood, and you can catch the 13 bus to the Sugar Creek station. And I've done that a few times before too. Like rode my bike to this past summer. I rode my bike to the go swimming at the pool in Noda to sit in the pool, and I use the bus to avoid the Strodes. So for people living in Allen Hills or somewhere like that, there's that opportunity too.
Yeah, Fincher, that's weirdly, I mean, Allen Hills is so spread out that that's a half-mile walk to that bus stop, which is, it's not ideal for a bus stop. But that's the price you pay for half-acre lots.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. And
I like that.
I do have an update from Puckett's. The closing of the purchase is not has been delayed to June or so. They're in the process. I'm not sure exactly what all the delays are. I think I made a slide for it, but I'm not finding it. So I'm sorry, I just don't know. Maybe I've got the wrong slide deck here. I'm just not finding the slide with the actual update. But long story short is that they're still going ahead with getting construction pricing and permitting, and still going backwards and forwards with the city on their site plan, with input from NCDOT and obviously the county and stormwater and all of that. So hasn't closed yet, projected to close in June. And if they do, they would potentially start construction in July. That was the update from the developer at Puckett's. And then I'm sure we've all seen all the construction sites. There are so many construction sites around us. At 115 and Gibbon. Here in Allen Hills, we have two behind the behind Mel's house, which is also behind the gas station and Wells Fargo.
Yeah, that's really coming along. It's amazing all the forest that went away and what's happening now is I used to see forest from my backyard. Now I can actually see up on the hill the BP station and Wells Fargo and all the lights at night. It's a little bit different. I think I must live in a city.
You lost the pond a few years ago, and now you're losing the forest. So what are you going to call it?
Oh, this is true.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a sick joke, Joseph. But yeah.
I think you should maybe work if your HOA is on that direction, maybe for next year some placemaking grants to maybe figure out how to restore that park or restore that, or see if the county be interested in buying it and maintaining it as a pond and like a little greenway for people to sit with benches like y'all had before.
We have an amazing amount of common property in Forest Pond, which seldom happens in subdivisions anymore. But where the pond used to be, there's still a trail, but it's kind of isolated because it no longer connects to the playground on the other side of the New Graham extension. So yeah, there's efforts that could happen park-wise for our residents. And you know, given that we have some of this property, it's not the kind of thing that you necessarily open up to the public, because believe me, I know there are liability issues. I used to have to chase people away from the pond because there weren't residents of Forest Pond, and if they fell in the pond and drowned it, then we would be liable. So, you know, I've spent time as a risk manager for a city. So, you know, I know about these things, and you just got to be careful, you know, what you open up, so to speak, to the public. That's kind of speaking to park issues, if you will.
Yeah, and you know, that's a lot of what all these parcels have to deal with. You know, when you do make stuff open to the general public, there's a lot of liability that comes with that. But yeah, I was just talking about the various construction projects going on, so that it's going to bring a whole lot more new residents and hopefully, you know, some impetus to support some businesses, because we've also got, you know, some commercial property in downtown Derita that is not leased, and looking for some tenants. And you kind of, you know, you need the population to support the business, or, you know, you need really small incubator type spaces for businesses. And we kind of don't have either. So I think I'm gonna call it, guys. I don't have anything else to report. If anybody's got any questions, you can remind me if there's anything I should have updated.
One quick note, Teresa, for tonight. I put it in the chat, but Alma Adams, Congresswoman Alma Adams, is going to be having her town hall tonight. at 6:30 at Mayfield Baptist Church on Sugar Creek Road. And go to our website ahead of time to sign up for that.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, Joseph sent that too. So that's tonight at 6 Mayfield Baptist Church.
6:30.
Okay. Well, for the likes of me, I need to know 6 so that I might be on time. All right, folks. Anybody else got anything to report? Or any questions? All right, I will send out something for the breakfast March 22nd. And if you have any ideas, I mean, we could make it a picnic at the parcel, but parking is the issue. So I don't think we should do that.
I could check with the church across the street. It's just people would have to be careful crossing
Cross that street, yeah.
which doesn't, it can be treacherous, but it doesn't feel as scary as crossing North Grand Street. Those
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that might be logistically difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, we'll stick with Maria's, and maybe we can brainstorm some other activity to do there. But it really has to be pedestrian or bike oriented, I think, because of the park.
But maybe Teresa, it would be a good idea to just email out an RSVP list so you can have a head count, a potential head count to give them at Maria's. Hey, we're expecting this many people.
Oh, at Maria's, yes. No, I'm going to do that. Hopefully, you know, I don't know if we have a huge group, we might have to find another venue. But no.
Now, you know.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys, thank you. We'll see you on the 22nd, hopefully, and otherwise, next Zoom will be, oh gosh, can it really possibly be April? But April 3rd, I believe, is the Thursday. So we'll see you then.
See everybody later.
Thank you much for inviting me.
Yes, thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.